it's crazy. Like I hate harping on when I went to prison, but everybody need to go to prison. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't. But in a way,
hard pass.
People do, man, because you get a moment of clarity, and you spend a lot of time with yourself one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is important. That time that you spend with yourself one-on-one is important.
At your weakest, you're strongest in God.
People don't do that enough.
At your weakest, you're strongest in God. That's what happens in prison and in jail.
Yeah, a lot of people trying to go.
At your
spend
weakest,
time alone at home.
What's that thing
in God?
What's that thing you always say big about arrest?
It's arrest.
Right.
God has put jail, penitentiary, whatever we want to call it, because we have been moving in a certain way.
I can't agree with that.
He has to give
jail
us a rest.
I can't agree with that.
Jail is a terrible and systematic.
When he give us that rest, we are able to now.
It's very damaging.
I can't allow you to say that.
It's very damaging.
Because God's law and man's law is two different things, and there's a lot of brothers that's incarcerated that don't
deserve to be there.
So according to scripture, man's law is God's law. You know that. You know that.
Listen, I'm being
according to
facetious and joking
scripture,
when I say everybody needs to go to
man's
jail.
law.
Nobody needs to go to jail.
According to scripture, according to scripture, man's law was set in place by God to keep us in order. And God said, if you do not want to fall victim to man's law, then follow his audience, and his audience goes into almost the same thing.
Chin said it best. Chin said it best.
figure it out.
Jail's a reality check. I don't need one. Facts.
No, everybody don't need to go to jail. Everybody needs to probably listen to their parents and pay attention at home.
Yeah.
But when you do not do that, and you become a certain age, and you become out from your parents, you have a ultimate parent, which
Listen,
is
I
your
wouldn't wish
father.
jail on nobody.
That
It's
is
not
how
gonna
your
work something.
father
It's
is
not a
going
place you wanna
to bring
be.
you into
It's definitely
correction.
not.
Your father will bring you into correction by placing you under a rest to make you rethink about the life that you have been living.
But that don't work for everybody. Some people's jail is out here. Some people's jail is knowing their homies ain't here no more. Some people's jails is knowing their family don't fuck with them no more. Some people's
Self-imposed.
jails is knowing that they can't take care of their kids the way they want to. Some people's jails is that. And they gotta figure that out.
Do they figure it out at that point? Because
Some
it's
do, some don't.
it's all arrest. And again, it's at our weakest that we're strongest in God. So he will bring you at your weakest at any stage. You don't necessarily have to go to jail. He can make you broke. He can make your record career not go the way you think.
Absolutely.
He can make your whole reality in a way that you didn't think, just to communicate with you. So again, that's just a record, just to get divine communication.
Right.
Absolutely. I feel like I've been through all those tests.
Absolutely, you have.
I got Job scripture chatted on my chest.
Job, amazing.
Yeah. Because I feel like, that's what I've been
We all Job.
I've been stripped of, the things that I thought were important. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And God wanted to show me that shit don't mean nothing.
It don't.
That's it.
I was incarcerated when I was really young. And I'm gonna be honest with you, one of the hardest things about being locked up is I'm a person who likes to help other people. So if I see somebody in the street getting jumped, I'm gonna be like, yo, what the fuck y'all doing? Like, obviously I'm not stupid, I'm not gonna run in and get ice picked in the gun.
Right,
exactly. But I'm gonna be like, yo, what the fuck is this? The first weapon is your voice.
Right.
Man, woman, everyone should know that. Somebody pulls out a gun, what the fuck you got a gun for? That's not dry snitching. You helping the people behind you and the mother get her child the fuck out the fucking bodega before some kid gets killed.
Right.
So I'm a person who likes to help people. But I'm gonna just tell people who have never been incarcerated, you can forget that. Because when you see someone else getting jumped by 5 people, that ain't none of your fucking business.
Right.
You can't mind someone else's business. Because guess what? If you jump in, now you got beef with 5 other random Bloods, Crips, Latin King, people you didn't even know. And here's the other problem. You don't know what this person did. Did they rape somebody? Did they steal from someone on the inside?
Right.
And here's what the hardest thing the OG told me. He goes, even if he didn't, even if he's fighting off being victimized, that still ain't none of your fucking business. And I've definitely been in situations where I've seen motherfuckers just beating someone like an animal and doing crazy shit, and I've just been like,
look
and been like, you know, and it hurts to be that way because I'm a person, like I said, who likes to do things. So I thought to myself, one day I had enough, and I heard some dudes and they were scheming on a kid in the shop. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna get this dude," and I rolled up there. I called my homie who was, you know, people roll and split themselves up by race in prison, but they're all united by class. Because if any of them had a $10 million lawyer, they wouldn't fucking be there. Which always begs the question from the smartest kid in the class, what happens when there's a millionaire in jail? And I say, he's the guiltiest nigga there because he had the $1 million lawyer and he still couldn't get the fuck off. Right. But people do divide themselves. Right. But it was rare because I stepped out the group of Ricans and I went over to a dude that I knew who I was just cool with, who was blood, and I was like, yo man, they're about to violate this little kid and that shit ain't right. And I had enough today. And I went over there and he came with me and I said, nah, y'all niggas don't get to decide this. Now, fuck you. And that day, I think I just, whatever. So I didn't become nobody's OG, nobody's big homie, but I would just tell people like, yo man, shut up if they were talking too much about things they shouldn't be. Or I would just, I guess I grew older that day because I was like, you know what? Let me just make sure that everybody don't fall in the same fucking hole.
I do kind of have a say-so.
And I got to a point where I said, I can help other people not make the same mistakes I've made. I can show people the greatest tool of teaching, which is show people, have the humility to show people your personal failure. Like I always remind people, if the big homies on the block are just talking about all the bitches they fucked and all the money they make and all the things they did right, then they're not teaching you anything. They're just bragging to you. Right. And you a sucker for listening. A person who really teaches you tells you, this is how I broke my own heart. This is how I pushed someone away that was trying to love me and I couldn't accept it because I was hurt and because someone did horrible things to me when I was a kid. This is when I fucking screwed up a job because I was trying to put other niggas on rather than get my situation right. And I let somebody else getting hired fuck me out of a job. Please don't do that. I loaned $10,000 to my brother and then I realized that you don't loan family money, you give it to them and there ain't no fucking people giving it back. You get lessons of the day and it was like, cool. I had already had some of those life lessons from my master. So I was born in Harlem. I learned to hustle, all these things. But one thing I realized, that I met a lot of people, whether they black, white, Asian, Latino, they were born hustlers, right? Born hustlers. But I never met a person, any race, religion, that was born knowing how to invest. No one's ever born knowing the stock market or knowing real estate. They have to be taught these things. No one's born knowing the alphabet. You learn it not through a numerical scale, through a musical scale. Everything revolves around music. So what I tell people is when you're absorbing these things, I said to myself, can I stop somebody from falling in? If I stop one person from falling in. So whenever I went to the classes, the way I would captivate people is by teaching them from my failures. I would say, yes, my parents saved up to send me to college from the moment we moved to America. I was one of them kids that got into a really good school and then I started doing stupid shit. And I ended up in prison and my parents spent all the money that they had saved for me. And they spent it on a lawyer so I wouldn't go to jail for 10 years like my fucking idiot co-defendant. And I didn't rat on nobody. And I took my fucking lick like a man. And then when they told me I could get out and they said all I had to do was sign a piece of paper, I turned the paper down and I had to see my mom crying and behind the glass and say, well, why can't you just come home? And I said, because Mom, they want me to sign this piece of paper that names other people. And then they'll always keep a piece of me here, Mom, always. Yeah. And I can't do that. And she's like, well, fuck that. It's not about the world, Mom. It's about me. So like I learned these harsh lessons as a kid. I learned what it was like to not have human contact, to be thrown in a hole for 60 days, and then to be thrown in a hole again another 45. For what? I didn't do anything. Right. What the fuck were y'all doing to me? And then when I finally began to start like opening myself up to talk to these kids, I realized that, man, they had been through things that I couldn't even imagine. And I realized that the so-called super predators, these scary black and Latino kids, these scary poor white kids, man, all of them were just people who had been physically abused as kids or sexually abused or hurt. And they were doing what they did as a defense mechanism to keep people away from them. You realize, why do people in prison hate pedophiles so much? And here's part of this, the reason is that they feel like they're never gonna get out and someone else hurt a child and they never hold theirs. The other one that they don't like to mention and that people don't talk about is that a lot of people in there have been hurt as kids. And they feel like because that person did something to them, somehow they missed their destiny. It put them on an altered course. I wasn't supposed to be this murderer, this killer. I wasn't supposed to be this angry, hateful person. I was supposed to be a lawyer. I was supposed to be a doctor. I was supposed to be a counselor. I was supposed to be a teacher, a principal. I was supposed to do something. I wasn't supposed to be eating out of this and drinking out of the same water where I pissed. Like, the fuck, what am I doing here? And then you see a person that has that frivolous attitude towards people and they get extremely violent. And what happens is that in prison, they practice what we call selective morality. So everybody could be sitting at this table, and if you a murderer and you a bank robber and you a thief, everyone's cool. But rapists and pedophiles are not allowed. And that was a very jarring thing that I saw. Like, people would just be in other people's food, like, excuse me, you done? And they'd be like, now you have to be PC'd up. No, you now you know you have a target on you.
Right.
But I think the biggest thing that hurt me was when I saw children that have sexually abused other children. And at that point, you're thinking in your head, a 13-year-old, why would a 13-year-old touch a 10-year-old? Like, what are they doing? And then you realize, well, that 13-year-old's been touched since he was 5. Like, he's almost repeating behavior. Like, but at some point, then you have this scale where it says, well, at some point, you have to accept the responsibility of your action as an adult. But at what point does that come for an abused child? Like, an ex-girlfriend of mine used to work in New York prison system where she was taking care of kids that had been arrested for prostitution. And
That's tough.
She's like, here's the problem.
I dated a CO that was around
telling
stuff
me
like that.
most of these kids have been trafficked and stolen from the time they were little. Why are they the ones in jail? Like, they're a victim of being trafficked. I just did a TV show on Manhattan Neighborhood Network about trafficking, and specifically with an officer named Manny Gomez, who goes around and finds people that are trafficked, because he says that the system pays less attention to Black and Latino women that have been trafficked, and also that now when you over 18, like I said, you don't stop being someone's daughter or someone's son, but the epic is not to take a child anymore. They will take a grown-ass adult, a 20, 30-year-old person, and shoot you full of heroin between the toes, get you addicted, and before you know it, in 2 weeks, you don't know where you are, and you're being trafficked in another state. And it's like, well, what the fuck? This is the same pain and misery these people are going through. And if I can't be empathetic to pain and suffering and that kind of thing, then, you know what I mean? There's not redemption for them. There's not redemption for anybody.
For me, you know what the crazy part is? For me, it was an enlightening moment, and it was the most tribulation that I've been through, and it helped me.
Coming back to tribulations and why.
Right. And it didn't hurt me. It helped me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, being shot, stabbed, all that shit. Like, motherfuckers go through that. When you're younger, you like, you feel like you invincible.
Right.
I think when they put me in a cage, you know what I'm saying? And I've been there, but at a certain age, you like, oh, yeah, no. This is not gonna happen ever again.
Right. Yeah. This is it.
Happen.
It ain't cool.
It ain't cool.
Right.
Like, so when I'm close to 30 at this point. I'm in prison at 30. I'm like, hell no. Like,
It don't go.
dude, like, I'm wild.
And
So
the
when
dude's
I'm,
running the joint 18.
you know what I'm saying? Like 18, 20,
Yeah,
you there,
18
you know,
years old,
you know
yeah.
me, running through
Yeah.
that shit. That shit about
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
30.
You know,
I'm like,
they
nah,
looking
man.
at you
I gotta
like,
do a little
you damn
stretch.
near
I'm like, oh.
I'm addicted to sex already. I can't be
Like, yo,
I need bitches. Like,
I
what
like
is this?
a lot of shit.
Yo, man.
I like a lot of shit that ain't in here. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right,
I like
facts.
mad shit that ain't in here.
Right.
But I looked at it like, I'm gonna get better. This shit gonna make me better. So I ain't going there, you know, like, yo, man, I ain't going in. I went in there to get better. And the one thing they don't tell you, like, I'm one of them niggas that went to college too. So, and I went to college and prison a couple times. Prison was way more educational. Because, that's a fucking fact.
For you.
If you can make it out.
Right.
If you can make it out, it could save your life, man. And I say this, go to college, you learn about everybody else. You go to prison, you learn about yourself. You can't learn about that shit nowhere else until your back is against the fucking wall. Ain't nobody there to save you.
Right.
Every fucking day.
And every day
You looking yourself in the
every day's a
mirror,
test.
and it's like, yo, what am I gonna fucking do, man? It's time to wake the fuck up, bro.
Wow.
Right.
And that's how I took it. Like, I'm learning about, you become yourself in there, man.
Right.
I mean, ones who use it wisely.
Well,
and shit.
it's-
Some
it's
niggas go to college
trial and tribulation.
and fuck, you know, and it's a horrible experience for them too. So for me, college and prison was taught me the most important principles, and that was for myself. I don't want to learn about George Washington. Fuck George Washington. Oh, fuck him, man.
Right, yeah.
I'm learning about me in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? The most important motherfucker. Like, fuck that nigga. Like, that nigga ain't. Fuck, I'm learning. Fuck you teaching about this nigga for, man. Fuck him, man. Ooh, I need to learn about this nigga. Like, the most important nigga on the planet.
Right.
For me, is the most important nigga is me.
Right.
So if I don't know me,
You got more selfish with yourself.
yeah, exactly.
You know, in a way, you was always forcing me to learn some shit, man.
Man,
Because I remember that last studio session.
Oh, you remember that shit,
before
man,
you
before I
went
went
in,
in.
man. And we were standing outside when the session was over.
Crazy.
What
man.
I was thinking at that moment, I'm like, damn, my nigga's going to jail. Like, we're 30 years old. Like, that's when I started saying to myself, because I was still I was still doing shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, do I really want to go to jail at 30? Because I'm watching this nigga about to go in, and this shit is hurting me.
Yeah.
Like,
That was a sad day. I was
man,
with
that
Kane
shit
like
hurt.
one of my
I was just
last
sitting there
days.
thinking, like, damn,
Yeah,
nigga.
I was with Kane and
this
shit.
shit crazy.
It was like, man, fuck it. I'm about to go learn about myself. I'm talking all that tough shit. I'm about to find out. I'm about to find out. Nigga. You tough, huh? You know what I'm saying? How you finna find out today.
How did you once you started, I mean, besides helping everybody else get out, like what overturned your situation? Because 3 consecutive life sentences, you know, you're not 175 right now.
Right.
So.
You know, well, see, a lot of it has to do with listening and learning, and by helping and assisting other people in their cases, it gave me the opportunity to self-educate myself by looking at what they did wrong in their case, looking at some of the opinions, looking to see what the judge said against them, looking to see what the prosecutor said against them, and stuff like that. Then I would say to myself, my God, I can't do that. Or I have to watch what I say here. I have to watch what I do here. You know, so that helped me in drafting my arguments, focusing on writing a motion or petition, knowing and understanding who my reader is. I can write something for you and you don't even understand it. You look at it, you don't like it. But if you're paying me to do it, I don't care if you don't like it or understand it, because you're paying me to write it for the judge. So I have to make sure that the judge understand it and like it, and it means something to him. You follow what I'm saying? But you have some people that want to pay you to write something the way that they want to write it, but it's not going anywhere. It sounds good. I can write a letter for you, a petition for you that sounds good. You can show it to all your homeboys. They say, oh man, this is excellent, man. Yeah, you laid it down, you showed them. But it doesn't meet the criteria that's necessary to have success.
So you figured out the criteria for your situation.
Right. Well, see, if you look at the rules, right, each rule give you a criteria that have to be met. So now you have to look at your facts of your case, and you have to see if the facts of your case apply to that criteria. If they don't, then you have to find a different rule.
What was the rule that you found?
The rule that I found was the compassionate release motion that gave the court a second chance to look at your case. I came to a realization that regardless of how crooked the federal system was, they wasn't gonna make amends and say, oh, well, we made a mistake. We shouldn't have gave you that much time.
Right.
Or, you know, we realized we sentenced you to ghost drugs. So I felt that by programming, educating myself, helping other people, running these programs would give them reason or justification to say, oh, well, we put him in jail. We gave him 3 life sentences, but look what he's doing. Look what he's done. He doesn't need to be here. And that's what I fell into. You know, the judge granted my petition on post-conviction rehabilitation. You know, the things that I did, how I helped the people, the school, the working. Like when I was in there, I worked for the law department there. I worked for the education department, and I also did volunteer work for lawyers on the street. And at the same time, helping assisting people that was incarcerated.
How did it feel?
I'm saying it felt great, but first it was kind of difficult because you say to yourself, what is freedom after doing 25 years? And then you have to adjust and adopt to a whole brand new world, a whole brand new system. You know what I'm saying? You have to adjust and adopt to finding employment, educating yourself, getting familiar with technology. You know, that's a part of the reason why I designed the app, because when I came out of the system, it was difficult to find people to help me, like my little grandson. This dude here, I think I done gave him maybe about $50,000 in McDonald's money, you know, to show me how to help with the technology of the computers and the system. You know, that's to show him how things work. And then he got to a point where he got real smart. If he thought I was learning something, he just showed me real quick. That's what you did, and just disappear. It disappear on me. You know what I'm saying? So I would always call him back. You know, so
right. The money's in the comeback.
Yeah. So you know, that's the learning the technology, and even with the phone, I still have problems with the phone and stuff like that. You know, Floyd, my brother Floyd over there, he my tech man. I always call him for help, assistance. He helped me do my first website. He helped me with my chat box that we have. We put together a chat box we're trying to market and sell to attorneys, to help attorneys so they don't have to. We realize that attorneys have busy schedules. I know this from working with them.
Right.
And a lot of times they don't have the time to answer the phone or to answer your legal questions. So we're trying to design chat boxes for them to put that database in there, the same database that I explained to you. So when their clients call, they can get the answers that they want. Right, they get the answers right there on the phone and stuff.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf, you heard.